The text from my mother came while I was helping Emma with her SAT prep. Made an executive decision about Emma's college fund. Call me. Mom. I stared at the message, unease crawling up my spine. My mother didn't make executive decisions about anything that wasn't hers. Emma looked up from her practice test. Everything okay, Mom? Just Grandma being Grandma, I said, stepping into the hallway to call. She answered on the first ring, her voice artificially bright. Stephanie, did you get my text? What executive decision, Mother? Well, you know how Frank's twins are starting college this fall? They're so bright, but Frank's ex-wife destroyed their college savings in the divorce. Just cleaned him out. Frank, her boyfriend of 8 months. The one who drove a Porsche but somehow never had money for dinner. What does that have to do with Emma's fund? I've redistributed the money. Emma's only 15. She has 3 years to figure things out. The twins need it now. The hallway seemed to tilt. You what? I gave them each $40,000 for tuition. They're going to state university. Pre-med. Isn't that wonderful? You stole my daughter's college fund? Stole. Her voice sharpened. I manage that fund. Your grandmother left it to me to manage for Emma's education. To manage. Not to give away. I'm investing in children who need it now. Emma can get scholarships. Or loans. Everyone takes loans these days. You gave away $80,000 to your boyfriend's kids? They're practically my grandchildren now. You've known them 8 months. You gave away money my grandmother saved her entire life? Money for Emma? Mother knows best, Stephanie. I'm hanging up now. The line went dead. I stood in my hallway, phone in hand, trying to process what had just happened. My grandmother, who'd worked as a seamstress for 40 years, had left money specifically for Emma's education. She'd made my mother the trustee because I was only 19 when Emma was born, a single mom struggling to make ends meet. Trust your mother, Grandma had said on her deathbed. She'll do right by our Emma. I called our family lawyer, James Morrison, immediately. She can't do that, I said after explaining. That money has conditions. It's for Emma's education. Actually, James said slowly, as trustee, she has broad discretion over distributions. If she claims it's for educational purposes. For someone else's children. I know. It's awful. But legally, unless the trust specifically states the funds must go to Emma alone. Does it? I'll need to review the documents. Can you come by tomorrow? That night, I barely slept. Emma had dreams. Big dreams. She wanted to study aerospace engineering at MIT. She'd been working toward that goal since she was 12. Perfect grades, robotics club, summer programs. And now? The next morning, James had bad news. The trust language is vague. It says for the education of family members, with preference given to direct descendants. Your mother could argue the twins are family now. They're not married. He's just her boyfriend. I know, but courts give trustees significant latitude. However, he pulled out another document. There's this. The trust requires detailed accounting of all distributions. And any gift over $15,000 triggers gift tax reporting requirements. She has to report this to the IRS? If she did it properly, yes. Each $40,000 gift requires filing a gift tax return. Did she mention doing that? She didn't mention anything except that Frank's twins deserve it more than Emma. James leaned back. If she didn't file the proper paperwork, that's tax fraud. And moving $80,000 without proper documentation? The IRS doesn't look kindly on that. A plan began forming. How would they find out? Well, if someone were to request an accounting of the trust and discrepancies were found. I'm requesting an accounting. Right now. Formally. 3 days later, I got a call from my mother. Screaming. You vindictive little witch. How dare you involve lawyers? You stole my daughter's future. I redistributed assets to children in need. You gave it to your boyfriend to impress him. Did you file the gift tax returns? Silence. Mother, did you file the proper IRS forms? Frank said it wasn't necessary. It's family money staying in the family. Frank, the Porsche-driving boyfriend who's never been married to you? That Frank. We're engaged, she blurted out. He proposed last week. So they are family. Were you engaged when you gave away the money? More silence. I want that money returned. Today. It's already paid to the university. Non-refundable. Then you better figure something out. Because James is filing a formal complaint with the IRS tomorrow. She hung up on me. That evening, Frank called. I'd never actually spoken to him before. Stephanie? This is Frank Morrison, your mother's fiancé. His voice was smooth, rehearsed. I think there's been a misunderstanding about the college funds. No misunderstanding. She stole my daughter's money for your kids. They're good kids. For .0 GPAs. They deserve a chance at college. So does Emma. She's got time. My kids don't. Look, what if we worked out a payment plan? Pay it back over time. From what? Your Porsche payments. His tone changed. You don't know anything about my situation. I know you let my mother steal from her granddaughter. What kind of man does that? The kind who's trying to give his kids a future. Their mother destroyed me in the divorce. Took everything. Your mother was trying to help. With money that wasn't hers. She said it was a family trust. That she could distribute it as she saw fit. For Emma's education. Not your kids' education. Look, the money's spent. The university won't refund it. What do you want me to do? I want you to convince my mother to fix this before the IRS gets involved. The IRS? His voice cracked slightly. What does the IRS have to do with anything? Gift tax fraud. Moving $80,000 without proper documentation. Failure to file required returns. Should I continue? The line went quiet. Then, she said it was all legal. She was wrong. And if you benefited from tax fraud, you're liable too. He hung up. 2 days later, my mother showed up at my door. No Frank. No Portia. Just her, looking haggard in a wrinkled pantsuit. The IRS sent a letter, she said. That was fast. They're auditing the trust. 5 years of records. Frank's panicking. Where is Frank? He's consulting with his lawyer. He's worried about his kids' financial aid. If the IRS determines the money was illegally gifted, the universities could revoke their acceptance. She sank onto my porch step. I was trying to help. No, you were trying to buy Frank's love with my daughter's future. He said he'd marry me if I could help with tuition. His ex-wife really did clean him out. He was desperate. So he targeted you. A lonely woman with access to money. It wasn't like that, but her protest was weak. He loves me. Then where is he now? She started crying. His lawyer told him to distance himself until the audit is resolved. To protect his kids' enrollment. So he used you and abandoned you. I just wanted a family again. After your father died. You have a family. Me. Emma. But we weren't enough. You have your own life. Emma's always studying. I was alone. So you bought a boyfriend with my daughter's inheritance? She looked up at me, mascara streaming. I'll fix this. I'll take out a loan. I'll sell the house if I have to. With what credit? You're retired. And the house has a reverse mortgage, doesn't it? Her silence was answer enough. You spent everything. Your savings, your equity, and now Emma's future. For a man who just lawyered up and left you. The IRS audit was brutal. Not only had my mother failed to file gift tax returns, but they found other irregularities. Money moved from the trust to her personal accounts. Loans that were never documented or repaid. Administrative fees that went straight to Frank. The total damage, $80,000 in improperly distributed funds, $15,000 in stolen fees, and nearly $30,000 in penalties and interest. Frank disappeared completely when the criminal investigation started. His twins lost their university spots when the financial aid office learned their tuition was paid with stolen funds. They had to take out emergency loans, ironically ending up exactly where Emma would have been. My mother was charged with breach of fiduciary duty and tax fraud. She avoided jail time but received 5 years probation and had to pay full restitution plus penalties. She sold everything. The house, what little equity remained, her car, her jewelry. Even the engagement ring Frank had given her, which turned out to be fake, just like him. The recovered funds totaled $47,000. Not the full $80,000, but something. The IRS seized another $20,000 from her retirement accounts for the tax fraud penalties. Emma cried when I told her. Not about the money, but about her grandmother. I thought she loved me, she said quietly. She does in her way. But she loved the idea of being loved more. Will I still be able to go to college? Yes. It'll be harder. Loans, scholarships, work study. But you'll go. What about Grandma? She's moving in with Aunt Carol in Phoenix. My mother left without saying goodbye to Emma. Just a card that said, I'm sorry. I thought I was doing the right thing. Frank was eventually arrested on related fraud charges. Turns out my mother wasn't his first target. He had a pattern of dating women with access to trust funds or inheritance money. The Porsche was leased. The successful business was fictional. Even the ex-wife who destroyed him in the divorce was fiction. He'd never been married. His twins weren't even twins. They were his nephew and niece, whom he'd coached to play along for a cut of whatever money he could extract. Emma got into MIT with partial scholarships. I took out parent loans for the rest. She works summers and weekends. It's harder than it should have been, but she's making it. She asked me once if I'd ever forgive my mother. I don't know, I told her honestly. She stole from you to buy love from a con artist. How do you forgive that? But she's family. Family doesn't steal your future. Family protects it. Last month, Emma got her first internship at NASA. She called my mother to share the news. It was their first conversation in 3 years. She cried. Emma told me afterward. Said she was proud of me. Said she was sorry. How did that feel? Empty. Like talking to a stranger who knew things about my childhood. The trust fund is gone. The relationship with my mother is gone. The illusion that family always protects family is gone. But Emma's still going to be an aerospace engineer. She's still reaching for the stars. She's just carrying more loans than she should have to reach them. And somewhere in Phoenix, my mother lives with the knowledge that she traded her granddaughter's dreams for 8 months of fake love from a man whose real name she never even knew. The IRS got their money. Frank got 3 years in prison. His accomplices got probation. Emma got into MIT anyway. And my mother? She got exactly what she paid for. Nothing.